Hello, everyone. Uh, Here we are back again at another Friday. Man, these weeks are hustling by like absolute crazy. Um, some day, some days I just feel like, well, most days I feel like Monday was just yesterday, and it's already Friday, and then it'll be Monday. It seems like in 12 hours. It's not even a full day. Seems like. Or it isn't to me. And maybe it's because some of the days I'm busy, but it is what it is. But I guess what's going to talk about today and is the paycheck day. I don't know if you got paid today. I don't know if most people get paid bi-weekly. It seems like anymore. Um, you know, I don't know what would be better, bi-weekly or weekly. I got some kind of things going on today with my throat and everything, so apologize for the roughness of the voice. It sounds like I'm chewing on gravel or something. But um, folks, this economy, I don't care if you were getting paid every day. I don't think it would even matter. Um, you know, I don't I don't know what people are supposed to do. Um, when you see people that I know personally, not just what I'm seeing on here, but the sun's blasting in the window. Um, but I know people personally that they are having a hard time, and I'm talking about both of them together. Um, Probably right at 130 or 140 between the both of them. And now I'm saying they're not struggling people. I mean, they still are paying their bills and are doing all right. And what I mean by this is I just talked to them earlier today, and they were telling me about one of their sons that just got out of college and all that stuff that this past this past spring. Well, just a couple months ago, but it seems like yesterday. But not only is the time just flying by, I mean, here we are. Next week's going to be the middle of this month. We start this next week. This time next week, it's going to be the middle of the month. We've already lost here in my area. We've already lost 5 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening in time. So we've done lost 8 minutes since the 28th of June. And it's decreasing more in the morning right now, but it will start going to the evening soon. And actually both. But and what I'm getting at here, folks, is time versus paydays and paychecks leading to paying bills and paying for life. That's basically what I'm shooting at here. And I'm going to try to combine them all together as quickly as possible. So, the quicker the time passes, it seems like the less you get done. The less you get done, the less money you make. The less money you make, the less things you can appropriately pay for or buy. Or it seems that's the way it goes for me. Um, I'm just one person pretty much all the time. And it just, I can't see. I see some of these people that come in and shopping, and just like the people I was talking about, on what they make. And we started just into a conversation talking about all this stuff. And he's like, man, after we get done, we've made more money in the past 2 years than we've ever made in our whole entire life. He said, I'm 50 years old. She's 49. And we're at the top. We'll never make any more than what we're making. And he said, we don't take vacations anymore. Said we did one this year, and basically we stayed within 150 miles of home because flights are so expensive. Food out is so expensive. And used to, you could go to the store and buy stuff and go to wherever you were staying, and you could cook all of your meals and you could get by very easily and not have a problem with it. But he said, man, now it's just, it don't matter what you do. It's insane. And he said, it's costing just me and her and one of my kids. We're spending $1,500 a week. Almost. Might as well say. And he said, we just can't make it. Hardly. He said, we had a vehicle come up. He said it took $800 to repair it. It was either take all the money out of our account and pay for it at one time, or pay for it in like 2 or 3 different intervals on a credit card. He said, I put it on a credit card and I'll pay it off in 2 or 3 months. He said, because I'm afraid to take that $1,000 I've got set back. And he said, I feel very fortunate to have $1,000 because anybody I know doesn't have $100 hardly. He said, I literally work with a guy that has it like that. And he said, I don't know how. He said, I don't know what we're going to do. So if we have to make more money, he said, that's out. He said, our house payment, he said, we've got another 7 years on our home loan. With everything that went up, said it went up over $1,000 in payments. And just in the last 2 years, it's went up over $1,000. And we're still at where we were before that. It's not like we're paying more money on it. It's just costing more money. And he said, her car laid down last year. And he said, we tried to be as economical as we could be. Her car payment, even after what we paid down, he said, it's still over $550 a month. He said, I feel like I'm still in my 20s paying insurance. He said, because it's cost us $500 some a month for 2 vehicles. And he said, I don't know how we can add more anything to anything. And with that being said, there's nobody can add anything more to anything. I don't know what is going to happen, but people getting paid today, you could tell there were some people that was either grimacing at what they were paying, or you could see they were standing in suspense of what to get and doing the math in their head. You didn't have to ask them what they were thinking about. You could see it on their face. And this is an every time trip. This is not a one-day trip on a Friday. It could be a Monday. It could be no matter when it is. And when you look at people's carts, they've barely got enough that just covers, on a big cart, it covers the bottom. And you see most people want to have a small cart or a hand basket. And they get that and they're gone. And of course, we have no idea how many people somebody is eating, when you're looking. But when they're standing there and you see however many people standing there, you assume that's how many there is. But you really don't know because all of them may not be there. And I can tell you this, over the holiday weekend, one thing I didn't see was a lot of cars sitting in the driveways that I used to see, full of cars on every holiday weekend. Instead of being 10 there was 1 or 2 extra. And I did notice that a lot. And people have cut back, I think, all that you can actually cut back. I don't think people say, get another saddles or get another job. Maybe so. Maybe people are doing everything they can already. And that's what I kind of feel. That people are doing what they can, as much as they can already. I don't think there's anybody holding out right now. I really don't. I don't think there's anybody holding out for a better job, or they're not trying to do the best they can right now. I think everybody's putting 100% forward, from what I can see. Now, with exceptions, you can always pick out the slackers. Some people don't want to say it. I'll say it. You see slackers. You know they're a slacker. You might as well have it stamped across their forehead. It's obvious to see it. You know, I see people that don't look like they've bathed in a month, or had a haircut in the past year, or shaved. I'm gonna say this goes for women and men both. I've seen women and men both look like this. It's true. But I'm big on taking care of myself. I think that saying cleanliness is next to godliness, I believe that 100%. And this summer, where it was so hot, about last week, in the mid 90s all week, heat index 110 plus, I probably, in my whole life, I've never been around as many people with BO in my life. Hey, I get it, man, things are expensive, but man, use something. You don't, I mean, you got all kinds of things to use. Use something to wash yourself with. Because, I mean, you out here stinking up the place. I mean, one day I walked in, I thought, am I the only one here who took a bath? Is that me? No, it ain't me. Because everybody I walked by, I mean, it just seemed like there was a wretched smell. I mean, they would look like they had on decent clothes, but if you got next to them, it'd be like, damn. And you walk off like, got to get out of here. Because I'm going to tell you something. That's one thing that just absolutely just devastates me being out. I cannot stand the smell of that funky odor. I'm going to tell you, for most of my life, I've worked in the funeral home industry. And you smell all kinds of smells. That's just part of it. You either deal with it or you don't do it. Because there's nothing pleasant about it. But I'm going to tell you something. This is something you can do something about. People just choose not to. And I don't think it's a fact about they can't afford soap. I think it's the fact that they just don't want to do it. And maybe it's the fact the way things are going. Because I see people on here, I see people out everywhere that looks like life has just wore them down. And I see it. I understand, man. I understand that people are struggling. But folks, I don't know how to correct it. I wish I did. Because I'd try to help everybody I could. But I don't think it'll ever be corrected. I think we're wading into waters that we've never been in, and I think we're just going to keep on going. Because I don't think, this wasn't done by us. This was done by people that we can't do anything about anymore. It don't matter about who you elect and who you don't. It's all the same thing. It's not left or right. It's the same bird, man, in the middle. Same one. Don't care what you think, but it is. They're there to get as rich as possible because they know the time is running short. So they're going to fill their pockets and hopefully escape with enough that they can survive. Screw the rest of everybody else. That's the way I feel about it. So, may be wrong, but I don't think I am. Because there's nothing that can be done like it is right now without being intentional. You can see it. Hell, I mean, the man speaks one thing. Gas goes up 50 cents. Then the very next day, it's 50 cents higher. Over one thing. When we already knew that it wasn't that way to start off with. These people they're not going to stop. They fought since the beginning of time. Jesus wore shorts. And they were fighting before that. They're never going to give up. Never. If he thinks he's going to make these people lay down and say, "Uncle, I got news for you." That's not going to happen. These people would rather die than to tap out. They don't care. You've picked the scab off of people here this time, big man, that they are not going to do what you think they're going to do. You're either going to have to go over there and flatten these people out into a parking lot and not leave nobody, or you're going to have to get your stuff, pack it up, come home and lick your wounds and hope for the best. There's no in between. There's either one way or the other. You either go balls out to the wall, or you just come on home, bring it back in the house. Bring it back to us, because you're not going to force these people into submission. These people have lived ways that we couldn't even fathom, and are right now. It's like they're like a bunch of rats. You can't stomp them out. You can't do anything to make them go away or quit. Look at our country. Look at our government. Look who's taking over our government. Look who's out in our streets doing what they're doing. Nothing being done about it. Not a thing. Kind of want to stay off that. That makes me so damn mad. I can't stand it. It makes me start thinking about things that I don't even like myself when I start thinking about it. But I think to myself, how are we going to do anything else but this? Because if not, in another 10 years, we'll be done. We'll be the majority. And they'll be telling us what to do right here in our own country. And if somebody gets mad at me for saying what I'm saying, I don't care. I don't care. Because it's true. We're hiring people that to run our country was not even raised in our country. That knows nothing about our values and doesn't care about our values. They don't want our values. That's the thing. They want to diminish of our values. Just wipe them completely out and put their values in. If you don't do what they want you to do, then they have no use for you. And I'm telling you, the people that's helping them do this, when they get to where they feel that they can do it on their own, you watch what they do to these people that's been helping them get into the positions that they've been elected to. They will absolutely turn on them like a bunch of rabid wolves do. But right now, them are their friends. They have a use for them. But us, there's no use for us unless we submit to their ways. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. with that being said, do the best you can with getting by. Whatever you need to do it. And don't feel bad about it. And I'm talking about doing it within the law, not going out here and pillaging and killing and hurting people like some of these people are. But if you have to leave something off to get you some food, do that. And I don't know what to tell you when it comes between buying gas and food. That's just something you're going to have to deal with on your own. But I can tell you this. Before I go hungry, I guess those shoes going to be brought out and I'm going to be walking. Because I'm not going hungry over that. I'll get around the best way I can. So, everybody's got to make up their own mind what they're willing to do and what they're not. And this eating thing, and that's something you got to do ever so often. And you got to stay hydrated, especially this time of year or anytime. But them are two things we have to have. Water all the time. Food at least once a day. Something nourishment. You got to have it. So do the best you can. Folks, I don't have an answer. But there's definitely a change coming in this country that's will be unrecognizable and maybe less than what I said. It could be very easily a lot sooner. What I suggest you to do is, well, get right with yourself and get right with the good Lord. Because if you think that He's not real, there's a whole graveyard up here that would beg to differ with you, I'm sure. Because that very last second, you're going to either realize that you believed wrong or you should have done something different. So that's up to you. Nobody can do that but yourself, because you have to do it and you have to believe it. If you don't, it's not going to do you any good anyway. But folks, take care. I hope everybody has a good weekend as they can, or a good week coming up. And try to help somebody if you can. You'll be blessed for it, I promise you. But before you go in someplace, watch where you're at, because things are going to get worse. When people start having to do without food and things, you're going to see a lot of bad things happen. Things that ain't even got started yet, what it's going to be. So take care of yourselves. Be very, very watchful. And be mindful of your family and where they're at. And yourself. Take care, everyone. God bless. Thanks.